and making sure that our kids are empathetic and sympathetic toward others. And that does include these types of video games, that we don't hurt others, because we know how that feels and we don't reach out and do that sort of thing to
with your heart rate lower.
That includes
Like said, that we can tell by the surveillance videos that Reese's heart rate is not it's the reason, Chris, why the military uses these same types.
Game over.
Need that rush. Need that thrill. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
Oh yeah. Yeah, motherfuckers die!
Prepare to die!
Can't there! What's all that noise in there for?
Nothing, Mom. Don't worry about it.
Stephen, time for dinner!
I'm busy!
I said time for dinner!
1 second, I'm busy!
What is going on in here? What on earth are you playing?
Nothing, Mom. Don't worry about it.
I do not want that in my house. Turn that off! I've told you over and over and over, and I'm through with it!
Off it, Mom! Why would you do that?
Time for dinner! My son was bright, a well-educated student. He had friends who liked him and who shared interests with him. He was quiet, had a heart of gold.
That could change your day from dark to light in a heartbeat. He was probably the nicest, most caring person ever. It's strange
to me that my kid would do such a thing.
that my child would do such a thing. He's playing Counter-Strike. It's this disgusting game where you have to kill as many people as possible with a bunch of different weapons.
He's playing Super Columbine Massacre. It's a recreation of the Columbine High School shootings, where gamers play as the actual gunmen, and the mission was to murder all the students involved.
Maybe I should have taken it from him.
Maybe I should have never let him play it.
Am I a bad mother?
My son is Kimber Gill. My son was the perpetrator of the Dawson College shooting in West Mount, Quebec. He killed 1 student and wounded 19 before killing himself. I will never get to hug my son again. And it's all because of some stupid video game that put the idea into his head.
My son is Stephen Kazmierzik. My son is the perpetrator of the Northern Illinois University shooting in DeKalb, Illinois. He killed 5 students and wounded 21 before killing himself. He'll never tell me he loves me again because of some idiotic mistake.
November 2nd, 2010. Today in Washington, D.C., the Supreme Court heard the case Schwarzenegger v. Entertainment Merchants Association. Oral arguments today concerned a law in California that would ban the sale of violent video games to minors. A lot of emphasis was put on the First Amendment today by Justice Antonin Scalia. The following is an audio clip from today's proceedings. The first voice is that of Justice Scalia, who loudly voiced his defined opinions today. Following him is Zachary Morrazzini, Supervising Deputy Attorney General of California, who's fought to support the law. Following him is Justice Bray.
As a means of assisting concerned parents, this law is seriously over-inclusive. It abridges the First Amendment rights of young people whose parents, aunts, and uncles think that violent video games are a harmless pastime. Mr. Morrazzini, what do you have to say?
We have a legal obligation to fight against those children that have...
Yes, the First Amendment doesn't just disable the government from helping parents make a choice. A choice to stop their children from buying extremely violent and interactive games.
But Justice Breyer, you cannot forget that laws like this have tried to make it through the courts before, but have failed every time.
I'll tell you that 11 states have backed California. We enjoy regulatory power over common against...
Like it or not, what we say goes.
What you doing?
Homework.
What kind of homework?
The frustrating kind. How am I supposed to write an essay on something I disagree with?
What do you mean? What do you disagree with?
I'm supposed to write an essay on how violence in video games has a negative effect on children due to the big spat that's been going on lately with how California tried to ban violent video games selling to minors.
You mean like those shooter games you play all the time?
Yeah, like those times. That's exactly my point. If this became a law or something, I wouldn't be allowed to play those. That's so unfair. I'm 16. Why shouldn't I be allowed to play Halo when I want?
Well, they are awfully noisy, and you do play them a lot. Plus, I've seen you when you play those games, and you're like blowing people's heads off and coordinating with aliens on how to trap and kill people. Doesn't that bother you?
But it's all virtual, Dylan. I wouldn't actually kill someone, you know that. Besides, it's just fun. That's why it's called a game. Besides, they have ESRB ratings on games to prevent kids like you from playing certain ones. The only reason Mom and Dad let me play those games because I'm only a year away from being 17, which is the required age for rated M games. So if parents just paid attention to what their kids buy and sellers actually checked the ages of kids, it wouldn't be an issue. So there's no point banning them entirely.
Well, say what you want, but I still can't figure out how killing aliens and blowing them up is any fun, even if it is virtual. My next game will be called The Quest for Life. I need 2 men and 1 woman. He is brave. A fighter. He's had a hard childhood. But he finds his escape through fighting for a new life for his family. She is Queen. She will provide the new life for his family. But she is harsh, cold, mysterious. He is the sidekick. He will help the main character get what he needs. Kind, loyal, and
Excuse me, could you help me out?
yeah, with what?
I'm trying to find a way to express my creativity in a new way. And I love playing video games.
Yeah, I can help you, buddy. These are yours. You can create whatever you want to create. Come on.
Like this?
Yes, just like that. It's perfect.
All 3 of them can join together.
Yeah.
And they can bring monsters and save a kingdom.
Perfect, exactly. I mean,
This is perfect.
these games are...
They're a way to express yourself.
Yes. Come on.
We consider whether a California law imposing restrictions on violent video games comports with the First Amendment. Under our Constitution, aesthetic and moral judgments about art are for the individual to make.
Video games aren't art or literature, they're a disgusting waste of time.
Not for the government to decree. Government has no power to restrict expression because of its message, its ideas, its subject matter, or its content. The First Amendment has permitted the restrictions on content of speech in a few limited areas, such as obscenity, incitement, and fighting words, which represent well-defined and narrowly limited classes of restricted speech.
The games my son plays are full of obscenity, incitement, and fighting words.
Because speech about violence is not sexually obscene, it is of no consequence that the California statute mimics the New York statute that we upheld in Ginsburg v. New York. That case approved a prohibition on the sale to minors of sexual material.
Sexual material? I've seen the breasts of the women in these games. I think it counts as sexual material.
Speech that is not obscene cannot be suppressed solely
to protect my son from ideas and images I don't want him exposed to.
Unsuitable for them. The video game industry has in place a voluntary rating system designed to inform consumers about the content of games.
And a shitload of good that does us. What
What
good is a rating system if nobody bothers to check how old the kid is? You bet your ass I'm not letting him play M-rated games.
Bring home. California has singled out the purveyors of video games
Oh,
for
whoa,
disfavored treatment when compared to booksellers, cartoonists, and movie producers, and has given no persuasive reason why.
No reason? You've got to be kidding me.
Certainly the books we give our children to
A
read
book?
contain no shortage of gore.
Have you
In
ever
Snow
seen
White,
one of these video games
Wikipedia
played out? Do you
takes
even
red
know what a
lights
video
from
game
people
is?
Fell dead on the floor.
This is not
A sad
about
example
Snow
of
White.
envy and
This is
jealousy.
about my son pretending to
Cinderella
shoot
steps
and
to
kill
tears,
someone.
pecked
This is
out
not
by
about
dogs.
violence. This is not about art. This is about teaching kids to do disgusting things.
Disgust is not a valid basis for restricting expression.
That's all you have to say. Your whole argument is ass backwards. Video games are not expression, and they are not speech. No child should be allowed to see these things. No child should want to see these things. It's people like you who don't know what you are talking about who are ruining this country and ruining the children of this country.